So, hey guys, is Omega here yet?
Nope.
Oh, man.
I wonder where he went.
What about that ginger fuck?
Oh, who cares where that fat fucker went?
Toby McFatty is eating some McRibs. Leave him alone.
Oh well. Yeah, this is episode 17 of Woo Get Serious, and welcome to the news section. I am Gunner, joined also by Bastion, Booger, Smart Marie, and our sound producer Yankum DDS. Say hi, guys.
Yo.
No.
Why, hello. Yeah.
And let's tradition here and do the news.
Woo! Yay! News.
First news segment of the day. WWE got what some are saying is a break next week regarding its competition for the TLC pay-per-view. NBC was looking to flex into the Denver Broncos New England Patriots game for Sunday Night Football next weekend, which would run against the pay-per-view. Instead, CBS is keeping the game, which will run at 4:15 Eastern. The San Diego-Baltimore game will air as scheduled. Tebow has a lot of buzz right now, and many feel that a primetime game featuring him would do very good ratings.
Yeah, Tebow versus his first elite quarterback. This is, I would say, a fairly large game. I'm pretty sure it would pull substantial ratings away from the pay-per-view if they were on the same time.
I don't think anybody would not purchase the pay-per-view to watch the football game. I think if they were going to purchase that pay-per-view, they would do it regardless of who was playing. They would probably take the game.
Unless you're from Denver, or the surviving, Denver area, or an actual Broncos fan. As this is a pretty big game for them going into the... This is a wrestling show, what am I talking about?
Hopefully not football, because Peyton Manning is still out. Bastards.
Hey, Yankum, what's your team?
I fucking hate Gunner.
0-30.
Hey, the Giants suck. The Jets suck.
I agree.
Buffalo sucks.
Big balls. Yes, they do.
So, my one shitty team versus your three shitty teams over there in New York.
Well, how about this, Mr. Shitty Team? Why don't you and your 0-13 ass read the next news segment?
How about you suck a dick? 80s wrestler Pretty Boy Doug Summers has filed suit against the WWE and McMahon's over claims that he has owed royalties for the WWE using his name and likeness. Summers' suit names WWE's DVD on Shawn Michaels' career and the greatest cage matches of all time DVDs. Summers says that the WWE has failed to contact him and ask permission to use his name and likeness and never made any attempt to compensate him. The lawsuit also states that Summers' health is suffering from his pro wrestling career, where he claims to have suffered more than 400 concussions, broken bones, and inoperable injuries to his neck, foot, back, and knee. Summers and his partner Playboy Buddy Rose had their feud with Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty from the AWA promotion, featured on several WWE DVDs and WWE Classics on Demand.
I have to actually say that this lawsuit carries a lot of implications, especially for WWE's upcoming network, because if they have to clear every match for every wrestler, what was the point of Vince buying all the tapes? Because, apparently he just bought the name. With the network coming up, does that mean anytime they show a Smoky Mountain or an AWA match, they have to contact and pay royalties to every wrestler that was there?
Pretty much. If they have the ability to say something about it, yeah. That's the whole point of it.
Well, I would think that owning footage means you own everything in that footage. Maybe, if the guy has his Pretty Boy Doug Summers name copyrighted, he might not own. The WWE, of course, won't own that, but they own the footage with him in it. So I don't see how he could say, no, you can't use that footage. However, it's kind of shitty to not at least reach out to him and say, hey, we're doing this, let us give you, X amount of dollars. for using your name and likeness.
I mean, really, we're talking about guys that were literally wrestling in the gymnasiums and like bingo halls. I mean, these guys really, made wrestling, and honestly, were paid nothing for it. And honestly, Vince screwed a good number of these people. It just seems kind of weird that we're opening a can of worms. He can actually win this lawsuit if the WWE network has been running for like a year, but they have to pay back royalties to every wrestler. I mean, that could bankrupt the WWE.
The WWE network itself could bankrupt the WWE regardless of that. But that's neither here nor there, and that's definitely another conversation for another day. However, you do bring up a good point in which saying that, these guys should be paid for what they do, which is exactly why the WWE is trademarking and copywriting everything that they can get their fucking hands on so that they won't get sued by the hundreds of thousands of people that will be passing through their doors over the next couple decades. Moving right along. Regarding Chris Hero being signed by the WWE, officials wanted to sign him a few months back when they signed his partner, Claudio Cagnoli, to FCW. Hero was going through physical screening process. It's believed that WWE either found something they wanted to take their time on, double-checking to make sure he's fit to sign, or they stalled in contract negotiations. Hero hasn't gone back to work for Noah or ROH yet, so it's still possible he'll pop up in FCW soon. I'm thinking that it's the same idea that, with Daniel Bryan and Nigel McGuinness when those two were getting signed.
Yeah, it sounds similar situation to that.
I just hope they get him in there soon and get him on the show here. They also need to sign the World's Greatest Tag Team.
Need to sign Freight Train.
Right, trying.
They need to sign a few more people.
We're getting into speculation. Former WWE talent Jacques Rougeau has released his autobiography online Thursday. Les secrets les mieux gardés enfin révélés. I believe that's how you say it. I don't know. I don't speak French. The book is written in French and hits stores in Canada next week. I hope there's a translated version because I'll read any wrestler's book that comes out, but reading the Naomi's book sounds like it would probably be a good one.
What was the title again?
Les secrets les mieux gardés enfin révélés. Something like that.
Reveles?
Révélés.
Reveles? Who knows?
You can tell that I'm French. During this episode of NXT, the newly released commercial of the WWE Network was slightly different than the one aired during Monday's Raw Super Show. When WWE's Legends House is highlighted, WWE Hall of Famer Iron Sheik is shown. Sheiky baby in the Legends House? Yes, please.
Wait. There is an update on that. Sheik's management company has come out and said that ad that was shown was false, and that he will not be appearing. Sad day for us.
I just had a boner, and then you stepped on it. Why, Yanko? Why?
I thought that was what you liked. I know you're always hanging out on that one board.
I'm officially not on the WWE Network.
Well, then why don't you officially read the next thing about a former WWE talent?
I don't wanna. Former WWE talent Shelly Martinez filmed a project this week with actor Sheen Austin, who is best known for his film roles as Mikey Welsh in The Goonies, really. The shadow character of Rudy and Samwise Gamgee is Lord of the Rings trilogy. She wrote in her blog, "Okay, I know most of you are aware of my undying love for the Goonies, so it was pretty amazing I got to meet Mr. Sheen Austin. He was one of my first childhood crushes. Ooh, he made me have butterflies in my stomach. I call it a crazy Goonie adventure. I have some thoughts on the whole situation, so make sure to tune in to Fun Time Radio on Thursday to hear all about it. And I'm not reading the URL.
It's blogtalkradio.com/funtimeradio.
2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. We'll have Becky Bayless as our guest. Why are we plugging Shelly Martinez's show?
I have no idea. I do believe that guy was also on Party of Five.
Wow. Party
Not
of
that that
Five.
has anything to do with anything, but I'm pretty sure he was on Party of Five as well. So there's the possibility that like Stupt, what's her face from Scream.
Yeah, they tagged it out just because, good times. Her reading Teen Beat and Tiger and all that stuff.
I bet they had an orgy with the cast of Seventh Heaven.
No. Sloth got up in there.
Why are you talking about terrible things? Read the next news segment.
Hot on the heels, former WWE performer Maurice. Damn it. What's with all the French? Oulé? Maurice, her decision to move on from the professional wrestling industry and attempt to make it in the fashion industry, Kelly may also be positioned for a career outside of WWE. The WWE diva is looking to position herself for acting and modeling gigs late next year and is pushing her real name, Barbara Blank, instead of Kelly. Whether it's just her trying to have backup plans or testing the waters to see if there's interest in her or outwardly looking at something different, nobody knows. Kelly herself has denied these claims, saying, "Don't believe everything you read." WWE, according to a reliable source, however, she plans on pursuing acting and working late next year under her real name. Good. I hope she's gone. I hope she never come back.
And then we'll lump this right in too. TampaBay.com has an interview up with Kelly. Check out an excerpt below, which she discusses getting her name. It was my first week, and Vince McMahon asked me to come up with 5 names that I like. So I wrote down 5 names, and honestly, Kelly wasn't one of them. Later in the day, they said, "Okay, we came up with Kelly." And she laughs. The next I come to work and they look at the script, and my name has changed to Kelly. Vince thought it was cute. Kelly also says she was looking at working for ESPN before WWE found her. It was my first year of college, and I wanted to be an anchor woman for ESPN. I love sports, and I had an athletic background. When I got the phone call from my agent who said the WWE called me and they're interested in you, I was like, oh my god, because I used to watch it when I was younger, and I said, okay, let's try it, and then they kicked my butt for a week. I was throwing up. I had bruises all over.
I'm gonna go ahead and bullshit on her being a fan, like a long-time fan. Because if she was really somebody that had loved wrestling for a long time, she would have at least learned to run the fucking ropes.
Yeah, when someone from $5 Wrestling runs the ropes better than you do, it's time to hang it. But honestly, this feels like a kick in the dick because she's basically like John Cena, the Divas division for how long, and now she's just disappearing. I mean, if a male wrestler did that,
she's not John Cena, the division. She's only had one woman's title.
Going off on a semi-related tangent with tribute to the troops tonight. I don't know who happened to see it, anyone else did, but Maria Menounos got a roll-up on Beth tonight. So it turns out Kelly's not actually the master of roll-ups. That's just like the fucking Achilles heel of Beth Phoenix. Cannot kick out of roll-ups.
Yeah,
apparently.
roll-ups are Beth Phoenix's kryptonite, apparently.
Ugh.
You gotta remember, right? The person booking the women's division is Dusty Rhodes' son, right? So, roll-ups and schoolboys everywhere.
This is true. Yeah. Yank, why don't you read the thing about The Miz?
Why don't I read the thing about The Miz? Which I will do.
Ladies and
The
gentlemen,
MTV Network.
stalling.
The MTV Network has tried numerous times to get The Miz to return for another real world challenge, but he's apparently turned them down. God, I can't even read now. Thanks for throwing me off my game, Gunner. Miz told FayObserver.com this week that MTV gave me my start. I'm always grateful to them, but I'm done with doing a challenge. I'm tired of the drama that comes with that, and I don't know the kids anymore. I'd be the first one voted out. I know the game. I was a mastermind at that. I enjoy watching, though.
He was on one of
Everybody
those
that
things.
says Miz is just a reality star faggot that doesn't care about wrestling.
I do.
He was on one of those things.
Yeah, he was on several of them, I think.
It's for like he got big.
Yeah, Miz was known from the Real World and Road Rules long before he was known from WWE.
Well, I mean, I know that much, but the challenge shows. I didn't know he did a challenge show.
Yeah, he did. I think he did like three of them, three or four of the Real World, Road Rule. God damn it!
Real World Road
Road
Rules Challenge.
Thank you. Say that 5 times fast though, and see if you
Yeah,
can
I
manage
know.
that. There's a reason I'm the sound producer and not one of the personalities.
But you need to
Speaking of ugly, Triple H is ranked at number at number 20, just one spot higher than Dominique Strauss-Kahn on the 100 unsexiest man of 2011. It should be 100 unsexiest men, sponsored by the Boston Phoenix. The names on the list include Mark Zuckerberg, Dr. Oz, Ricky Gervais, and Charlie Sheen. Here's their
Wait,
website's
hold on, stop.
Yeah.
I have to stop you right there. They have Charlie Sheen on an unsexiest men list. I'm not gay. Let me get that out of the way. I'm not gay. But if Charlie Sheen asked me to fuck him in the ass, I would probably do it.
I bad for you, dog. You gay.
I'm just saying, yo. But I'm sorry, go ahead. Gunner. I just wanted to throw you off like you did me.
Okay with that rebel now that Yank prefers men. This is the website's description of Triple H. The night before his WWE contract expired, CM Punk snatched the WWE Championship from the loathed John Cena, and wrestling was edgy and cool again for about a week. Then Triple H, and son-in-law, an inexplicable star from 2003, hogged the Monday Night Raw cameras for the entire sound. The fuck?
It's nice to see that the Boston Phoenix has some smart marks riding.
I agree with this article. Honestly, the whole situation just to me felt like Triple H is trying to suck the limelight out of the whole Punk Cena phenomenon that happened, and succeeded.
It's not his fault that Kevin Nash broke his heart.
Wasn't that a quote from The Godfather?
Yeah, but Scott Hall's entire character is Scarface, so it's okay.
Legendary ring announcer Howard Finkel appears unhappy with Lillian Garcia's return to the WWE. When asked for comment on the Decade Diva's return to the organization as SmackDown ring announcer during WWE.com's live chat Monday, he initially ignored the subject. The Fink wrote, "Ginku already stirring the pot," in response to a fan's query. He then said he has even bigger news than Garcia's return to WWE, which was Dusty Rhodes joining Twitter. Finkel then appeared annoyed when a chat moderator posted a YouTube video of Garcia's 2007 song Quiero Vivir. When asked for comment later, he simply wrote, "Good for her." The following Fink was then posted, "Think you should return to announce. You belong on TV, not the computer." He responded, "Amen."
Yes, this 1,000 times.
A trillion times. However, I do not dislike Lillian at all. She's kind of known for botching around Woo a little bit, I think. We discussed this before. She makes some funny little wibbles, but I don't dislike her at all. I'm glad she's back.
I know I've seen her live and in person do the anthem, and she does the fucking hell out of the anthem. Nothing else. She should be kept around just to do that before all of the live events.
I just know what happened between the Fink and her, because this is some, like, serious hatred. Like, when you won't even talk about a person, something had to happen there. There's some kind of untold story that we don't know.
I know there was a whole thing where Fink was supposed to be accepting an award in his hometown a few years back, and then he got a call from Vince McMahon and said he had to go back to not the award shows that he could be on Raw, and I think something humiliating. I think he got kicked in the balls by Lillian or something. So probably he should be mad at Vince, but it's probably screwed from that.
All right, moving right along here. Dwayne Johnson will start work on his next movie, a drama called Snitch, soon. In the movie, he plays a convicted drug dealer who goes undercover to help authorities so that he can help his son. He recently wrapped production on G.I. Joe 2.
I want my, but I still don't know how. Sorry, Dan. Go ahead.
It's fine. It's fine. I was just trying to figure out is the point of the movie, does he work undercover via satellite, or does he do his snitching via satellite?
Well, he plays in G.I. Joe. He plays Roadblock, which is the least most intimidating character ever.
Are you serious, dog? Did you not watch G.I. Joe as a kid? He can carry around a motherfucking Mongoose machine gun and shoot it like nothing.
But he's Roadblock. You throw him in the middle of the road and you direct traffic away from an accident. How intimidating can that possibly be?
Not as intimidating as your face. Oh!
And with that, you're reading the next news bit.
WWE and MNC Sports announced Friday a 6-month television distribution deal that will bring WWE's flagship weekly TV show, Monday Night Raw, and WWE specials such as TLC, WrestleMania, and Royal Rumbles to Indonesia. The WWE Raw will premiere on MNC Sports this Saturday. It debuted on Saturday the 10th at p.m. It was bringing one of the most watched sports entertainment programs across the globe into more than 900,000 households each week on the largest pay-per-view TV operator in Indonesia. The specials will also air on MNC Sports, with the first being TLC, which will be on January 1st at 11 p.m. WWE is the biggest brand in sports entertainment, and we are very pleased to be the broadcast partner responsible for bringing Raw and WWE specials to Indonesia, commented Handi S. Kintjono, Vice President of for MNC Sky Vision. Vice President and Managing Director of WWE International, Dominic Hayes, added WWE continues to build partnerships with the biggest and best broadcasters across the globe. Their deal with MNC Sky Vision will allow WWE to once again deliver programming to our increasing audience in Southeast Asia.
I want to know if they're using Adobe After Effects and just Photoshop Great Khali winning every title again.
I think they'll probably cut in dance numbers randomly. That seems to be how that works. Like Indonesian Star Wars is, Luke gets his hand off, but before he drops off into the abyss to be saved by Han and Leia, he and Darth Vader and a bunch of scantily dance.
Are you really giving us a synopsis of Bollywood videos?
No, I was just looking that up. I don't even know if it even exists for real. I was being a stereotyper.
You facetious motherfucker.
Maria Ellis has responded to a report posted earlier this week that we reported on last week, I think, regarding her perceived shots at Nikki and Brie Bella's promiscuity during AfterBuzzTV. AfterBuzzTV.com's weekly post show for Raw. The former WWE diva says she's not taking personal digs at the two, but rather, they're villainous television characters. Kanellis explained on Twitter, AfterBuzz for Raw is a show about a show. just like I did AfterBuzz for Dancing with the Stars, Borgias, Project Runway, etc. We make jokes, poke fun, show respect, educate, and talk about the show's news and gossip. No one forces you to watch. Bellas play bad girls on TV, as such we talk about them as bad girls. It's a show, but thank you for talking about it so much. Press. And I repeat, wrestlers are the most talented entertainers on the planet. Nellis posted a similar explanation on Facebook, but added that she would never sacrifice her strong moral values in order to get ahead. So basically she's saying, yeah, I called them but I didn't really call our dead sluts. Whatever.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, she's saying that now, but I think it's just sort of like fan the flames or whatever, however they put that, because I know that the way she was talking just a couple weeks ago was not a kayfabe, from a place of kayfabe at all. It was from a place of legitimacy, and you could tell.
Yeah, it was kind of the most PR canned response I've heard in a while.
I just wish to bring her back. I miss Maria. I miss her so much.
Tribute to the truth tonight. I totally was like, "Hey, look, it's Maria," and then I got really disappointed.
Yeah, I cried a little, especially with that roll up. On to other sad news. Chris Jericho posted an update on his Twitter account as a response to a fan asking about the video seen on Raw. Of course, referring to the 2012 videos, saying, "Haven't watched Raw in a month, and I haven't seen the mystery promos. Sorry, don't know and don't care, so you can stop asking." God, I hope that's kayfabe.
Every time he's ever come back, he's always responded very similar, but who knows?
Whatever. We'll see. The longer it goes on, the less and less I think it's going to be him.
I don't know. Didn't they for the first one? It seemed like they were doing the videos for a while, and then for the second coming, they definitely it was a few months. If they were showing the videos before he actually showed up.
On a tangent, if Edge isn't a contestant in the next Royal Rumble, I'm going to be sad.
Wait, what?
Edge needs to come back, Darren.
Sorry, bro. Not gonna happen.
No, Edge does not need to come back. I want him to stay healthy and okay.
I don't feel like watching it draws in the middle of the ring. Thank you. Let's see.
Can draws come back for the Rumble?
He's gonna puke.
He'd probably be the hardest one to eliminate. They'd have to really I mean, that's dead weight, you know.
Have you ever seen?
Speaking of dead weight, you know who they should get back for the Royal Rumble? Test.
Man.
They can just pay him in pizza.
Oh god! All right. I've had enough of Yankov's face and his death jokes, which are equally as tasteful. The Chad Duke show recently had Dave Bautista as a guest, and he had quite a few things to say about the PG direction of the WWE, about playing heel against John Cena. I was playing the part of the heel, but they were still booing the hell out of Cena. I really had to go that extra step to be heel against this guy, about John Cena being responsible for the PG era. I think they did the whole PG direction thing. I think that works for Cena. The little kids love him because he's a great character. He's someone they can look up to. The girls love him, good-looking guy, says all the right things, does all the right things, but hardcore fans can't stand him. He's Mr. Hokey. He's Mr. PG. To me, he killed hardcore edgy wrestling.
I downloaded the interview and I listened all the way through it. I drive for a living, so I have a lot of time to do things like that. And he seemed pretty critical of the whole direction and everything. And he mentioned other things too, and just said that he doesn't think there's a lot of exciting talent. He specifically said, I don't want to come back to fight the Miz, you know. So it's kind of a burial for poor Miz. But yeah, I think Dave doesn't find the product very exciting right now.
I don't think most of us find that very exciting right now.
But Kane.
Well, we'll get to that. WWE Hall of Famer and a guy that I actually really enjoy. I had a long conversation with him at one point or another, and he's fucking awesome. So does his son's pretty cool too. WWE Hall of Famer Jimmy Snuka will be undergoing ankle surgery in the near future.
Hopefully that all goes for him.
Indeed.
So Abdullah was the donor.
Oh,
It's
No, it
too
would
soon that. Okay.
it wouldn't be Abdullah, you idiot. He would get Hep C from that. No, Kamala would be the donor if he wanted to do the joke right. Way to go, Bastion.
Fuck you, man.
Hey, man. Hey, that's strong language here. Strong language. Speaking of strong language, Jack Corpella, an announcer on WWE Superstars and NXT, has left the company. Sources report that Corpella's contract recently expires and he chose not to sign a new one. WWE will likely not confirm this.
I don't watch NXT.
I don't think Vince McMahon watches NXT.
No one does.
The guys over at In Your Head Wrestling, these guys have a decent podcast with, it's a very interesting group of people over there. And they interviewed Big Vito about him being on WWE Turkey List and how Joey Styles has changed recently and how responsible for Vince Russo getting into wrestling. About the Turkey List, Vito thought WWE insulted him by putting him on the list and how his family was very upset about the mention. Let's see here. And he made the point about the Be It Star program. About us releasing him, Vito says that John was in the WWE when he was fired. He was given his release because of the usual creative has nothing for you when he was in developmental working on a Muay Thai gimmick and was preparing a return to TV. About the dress, Vito was asked if he preferred the Italian tough guy or the tough guy in the dress. Vito prefers the dress because since it allowed him to be more creative, which he's always doing today. Vito says that he tried to call Joey Styles several times, not gotten a response, claiming that Joey has changed recently and he doesn't know where he stands with him. And about Vince Russo, which is a very interesting thing, Vito talks about how he and Vince Russo had a radio show together before Russo went to work for WWE Magazine. Vito takes credit for talking to him into applying for the job, and Vito can be followed on Twitter at Team NV. It's Team like NV like Nevada. So basically, we have Vito to blame for Vince Russo applying for a job at WWE.
I hate this fucking guy.
There you go.
Again, I pose the question, like, his family was honestly upset over that article.
Apparently, because he's still talking about it.
I'm sure they weren't all that upset. They were probably indignant for his sake. And he's just kind of blown it out of proportion. I think Kazarian's let it go already, so.
Daddy, Janet said you were a turkey.
That same interview also had Vito was saying he wanted to face John Laurinaitis at WrestleMania and that the fans should start an online petition to get Vito to face Johnny Ace at WrestleMania. I think that's what it was, and I think that's not going to happen.
Because that's what people want to see. They want to see the guy in drag facing off against one of the dynamic dudes.
I'd like to see Colt Cabana versus Ace.
That'd be funny.
Free
Speaking
trade.
of people who potentially have genital herpes, former WWE diva Amy Lita Dumas was arrested on December 9th for driving while license suspended/revoked and speeding in excess of maximum limits in Columbia County, Georgia. Lita's been in good humor about the whole thing, though, tweeting, "You guys make a Team Extreme jailbird graphic yet? Get to work. #slackers."
BRB Photoshop.
I think that one's already turned up on wooo. Damn it. Why does she make it so hard to not like her? Like, all the shit that she's done, I mean, with the rumors of her being a slut, leaving Matt Hardy for Edge and all that shit. Why can't I not like her?
Dude, seriously? You're gonna fault her for leaving Matt Hardy in the throes of
McDonald's?
McDonald's?
That was a bad example. Bad example. It was probably all the grapes. That's why she left it. She couldn't handle all the grapes.
It was the pizza boy.
It's actually a good example of how the internet and the wrestling fans in general just changed their position on people so hard over time. Because back when all that was happening, they were like, "How could you leave Matt Hardy?" I know everyone would just think like, "How the fuck did you stay with Matt Hardy for so long?"
Well, to be fair,
Pretty
people
much.
probably didn't realize, like, we didn't know about Matt Hardy what we know now.
He's fat.
He's fat.
I'll take my Big Mac with a side of meth.
So let's get into something really nasty here, and something that really pissed me off this week when I read about this. Returning to the WWE after more than a 2-year hiatus, Garcia appeared on Friday's episode of SmackDown as the program's new ring announcer. Tony Chimmel introduced Garcia to the live audience at the start of the broadcast, who was already standing in the ring. Garcia talked about how great it was to be back, and she was interrupted by Cody Rhodes, who was standing on the announce table. This is SmackDown stuff, blah, blah. Michael Cole had the opportunity to air a crass backstage joke. He cracked, "I wish these two would stop horsing around." The reference stems from those in the WWE's inner circle. Vince McMahon, Triple H, television producer Kevin Dunn, and the since-departed John Bradshaw Layfield, often joking that Garcia has a horse-shaped face. Crash jokes were passed around back years ago and ultimately acknowledged on television to amuse company employees. Though Garcia has probably taken the joke in stride, Mick Foley took offense to Hunter demeaning the Decade Diva during an episode of Raw last year in which she had filled in for regular ring announcer Justin Roberts. He wrote online, after watching on television, Triple H tell Garcia she can always return to WWE to horse around. Why doesn't someone like Triple H, one of the most talented, well-paid guys, do something so shallow and mean? Why would a multi-millionaire with millions of fans around the world feel the need several times over the years to say something that is only meant to hurt? I don't get it. I don't get it why it's done. I don't get why it's condoned, and I don't get what possible satisfaction anyone involved gets from demeaning someone like Lillian Garcia. I just don't get it. The latest reference was likely directed by Triple H, who filled in for McMahon at Tuesday SmackDown tapings since WWE CEO was off visiting U.S. Armed Forces serving in Afghanistan and Kyrgyzstan. Cole is the mouthpiece of the program director, and as he is fed lines via headset, it was not only mean-spirited remark on Friday's show. Cole made light of Jim Ross suffering from Bell's palsy after Josh Matthews said Cole speaks out on both sides of his mouth. Cole quipped, "Actually, there's nothing wrong with my mouth, unlike JR."
Boo! Sorry, go ahead. I couldn't. I couldn't control myself there.
Hey man, be a star, don't bully.
It's fine. And JR actually made a comment that it was more along the lines of Cole saying those things and Cole just saying those things as opposed to being fed that line.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mark. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say I've heard about this. It's part of why I haven't watched SmackDown yet. Like Cole's just getting to the point where you don't want to watch the show because of him. It's getting that difficult, I think.
Well, I mean, it's beyond that. It's him sitting there saying, hey, look at me, look at the balls I have to say the shit that I do on television, and if anybody else in any other situation, like, for example, if some guy on ESPN were to say anything that Cole has said, right, he would be fired, he would be fined, it would be a giant hoopla for a week, and ESPN would be embarrassed to say anything like this. And I'm not just saying, Michael Cole's being a heel. I'm saying Michael Cole's being a dick. And I want him off of my television screen. Forever. Forever.
I think that's pretty much how everyone feels.
And fuck yeah, Mick Foley standing up to people. Because he's fucking Mick Foley.
Mick Foley is... he's been confirmed several times as the nicest guy in the business. So I'm not surprised at all that he would stand up for somebody else, especially over something as unnecessary and nasty and childish as that is.
couple other things relating to that. The official website for Be a Star, an anti-bullying alliance co-founded by the Creative Coalition and WWE, was recently overhauled. Be a Star Alliance.org features the public service announcements currently airing on WWE programming, campaigning against bullying, as well as numerous information resources. I'd like to thank my roommate who just brought me a bunch of chocolate. Hell yeah. Triple H is one of the campaign top supporters, and the front page is overhauled site features a quote from the WWE superstar that reads, "Bullying needs to be stopped." There are a lot of jokes going around WWE lately regarding people that Triple H has hired. One joke is that he's surrounding himself with jack-up meatheads, but at least he's getting fresh training partners.
Isn't it ironic? Don't you think?
All I know is that chocolate your roommate didn't start out as white chocolate.
It. Damn it, bastard. I think it's just funny that you've got Triple H telling Cole to make jokes about Lillian having a horse face on international television viewed by millions and millions of people. And then he's got a quote on the front page of the Be a Star website saying bullying needs to be stopped.
I'll take hypocrite for 400, Alex.
I'll take the penis idea for 500.
That's the pen is mightier.
Yank 'em.
Oh boy. You have no idea how much that I wish I was rich right now. Former WWE Women's Champion Chyna and she's listed as a Los Angeles porn star escort on the website My Porn Star Provider. The website says to contact them for rates, but if you want to purchase Chyna services, the rates have been confirmed as the following. It is $3,500 for the first hour, $1,500 for an additional hour, $10,000 for 24 hours, and $20,000 for a weekend.
Who would pay this much and why?
I would. And you don't want to know why.
You just you want a button noses and not the one on her face?
I just want to like get her going and then be like, "Is that your clit?"
Hold on, baby. I need to get ready.
And then puke all over it. I wonder if that costs extra to puke all over a hooker's badge.
What is wrong
It
with
does.
you?
Yank 'em being terrible tonight.
I'm sorry. I can't help myself. I don't know what's wrong with me.
You know what? Alex Riley is reported to be in the doghouse of WWE officials. No word of why right now. But Yank 'em BBS, you are in the doghouse right now. Watch yourself, boy.
I'm calling LOL dirtsheets on this one.
Yeah, me too.
I hope not. Remember when they tried pushing Alex Riley on us? You remember that shit? I don't want to go back there.
I kind of completely forgot Alex Riley ever existed.
So did everybody else until this point.
We got Zack Ryder now. We don't need you. You go away.
Remember how everybody was all high on Alex Riley when he was with The Miz? And then they split those two up. It was immediately Alex Riley is terrible.
Well, I mean, when he wrestled, it kind of, followed.
Miz was definitely propping him up. He definitely needs to spend a little more time in developmental. And speaking of developmental, segue, Jim Ross has a blog up on jrsbarbecue.com in which he talks about WWE developmental, saying, "My most recent trip to FCW in Florida was good. WWE has several potential main eventers that are being groomed as we speak. No one candidate sticks out head and shoulders above the rest, but there are many athletes that I feel will be in the hunt for a WWE roster spot sooner than later. The process is a long one and can take years to achieve, much to the chagrin of some. Back in the day, many wrestlers worked in territories for years before making it to the WWE, So why should today be any different? We also talked about the WWE Network, saying, "We're getting tons of questions on the WWE Network. Sorry I don't have the answers for you, but I honestly don't. I don't know it. It's obviously a high priority, or I'm sorry, I do know it's obviously a high priority project. The WWE has huge expectations for the network, and that many ideals are being considered for content."
Sweet.
Wonder who he's talking about.
Probably the whole lot of them that are down there, Tyler Black and John Moxley and whatnot.
That Twilight group.
Twilight Ball Z.
Yeah, it's like Nexus 2.0 with a Twilight gimmick.
With only one
Wait.
chick redos.
Wait, what? Reset, please.
Yeah, and it's got the dude who looks like a rat.
Oh, do you haven't watched FCW? They have like
No. Can you
You're
go
talking-
over and reset that on that for everybody here?
He's talking about Ascension, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got Eddie's daughter in it.
Oh, really? That's Eddie's daughter? I can
Yes.
not realize.
Yeah, that is. I'm like almost positive that is. Yeah.
Yeah, Shaul Guerrero. Let's see here. A DUI charge against WWE talent Jonathan Fatu, aka Jimmy Uso, has been continued until January. The SmackDown star was arrested on September 29th, 2011 in Tampa, Florida on suspicion of driving under the influence. Officer observed Fatu at approximately 3 a.m. that day driving the wrong way down a one-way street in a silver Mustang.
Yeah, this is a bad drunk driving. I mean, there's some like drunk drivers where you just get pulled over, but when you're going down a one-way street, get wrong way, kind of bad. And also, what is up with this like curse lately against tag teams in the WWE? Where's
I
one
have
guy
no
smokes
idea.
pot?
No
fake
idea.
pot.
Hey, Smark Henry, do you have a copy of the news
What news? Which news?
of what we're reading here?
Let me see here real quick. Yeah, I think I do.
This is the best show we've ever had, and
I
that's not
know.
me being. Normally, we're not. I don't think we're this laid back.
Goddamn troops screwing us all up. Yeah. Why don't you, if you can, could you talk about the All-Star Overeem comment that he made?
Which comment?
Oh boy,
The Overeem. That one?
that one. Yeah.
All right, I got this. Hold on. In a recent blog, UFC heavyweight Ulster Overeem stated that he's ready for a UFC 141 fight with Brock Lesnar and that he will take care of business in that fight. An excerpt from that blog reads, "I know my fans are worried that I'm distracted right now, but trust me, to compare the situation that had me go back to Holland 2 weeks ago to what I was dealing with back in 2006 to 2007, it isn't even close. I say to mixed martial arts fans, again, don't worry. I will be sending this guy back to WWE for you."
Alistar Overeem got caught with drugs and stuff like that, and he's been quote-unquote distracted. As of late, they're going to fight, apparently, on December 30th at UFC pay-per-view 141, for those of us who aren't paying attention to MMA at the moment. So you could watch Brock Lesnar hit an F5 on this guy and win the match. Spoilers, it's a work!
Everything's a work.
Except Ric Flair being poor.
I wouldn't see someone sneak a foreign object into a UFC match just once.
I know,
that'd be
right?
funny.
How awesome! What was that? It was like a little lead, like pipe or something that Randy Savage used to sneak into the ring with him all the time. He would punch face with it and he'd toss it out to Elizabeth. I want to see somebody do that in UFC.
That'd be kind of funny. Bastion, why don't you get the next one?
The Chris Jericho.
Yes, please.
A fan tweeted Chris Jericho on Sunday night and told him that James Storm used his code breaker finisher in his match against Kurt Angle at the TNA Final Resolution. Jericho tweeted back the following, "Who's that James Storm?"
Beer. Buried.
For real.
Which is a real shame because, I mean, he shouldn't be buried like that because it's James fucking Storm, who's actually semi-decent.
Yeah, that's harsh.
He ain't come on to get this thing about Jim Ross.
Why don't I get this next thing, Jim Ross? Uh, Jim Ross did the following last night, referring to his rap segment. I apologize for the worst segment of TV I've ever killed. Had a rap thought, lost, what a slammy. It was likely my rap and spinneroonie, not my area of expertise. My apologies to all with sight. To all folks with sight, I apologize for my feeble attempt at rapping. I sucks. Better stick to occasional PvP and selling JRs at www.shop.com. Of course, referring to selling his awesome barbecue sauce or pie. He tweeted to Joey Styles saying adamantly just watched that segment and emailed his resume to WWE. That's cold but likely true. I'm ashamed of myself. Michael Cole, you're a damn fool. King beat you like a government mule. I should call Raw. You're not in my class. You kiss King's feet. Now you can kiss my ass. Woo. Then he tweeted to Jerry Lawler saying, I'm sorry I embarrassed the team. He brain fart. Cole's face me go blank. Rap career dead. And finally he said, one segment in it I'm very grateful that I PVR'd WWE Slammy Awards. Yeah, good old JR messed the bed.
I didn't think it was that bad.
It was pretty bad.
It was pretty bad. He just kind of forgot, and it happens.
It was awful.
Well, the segment never should have been booked in the first place.
Right. There were additional Slammy Awards, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that.
All right, so Outstanding Achievement in the Muppet Resemblance goes to Seamus.
God damn it.
Bastion, why don't you actually read the rest of these? Because I think it'd be funny if you did that.
Okay. The Pee Wee Herman Bowtie Award for David Otunga as that lawyer guy. Most predictable outcome of the year, Kevin Nash's quad tear. Guess who's back or return of the year, The fucking Rock. Double vision moment of the year, Sin Cara Azul versus Sin Cara Negro. T-shirt of the
That's
year.
Negro.
T-shirt of the year, CM Punk. WWE.com exclusive of the year, John Laurinaitis congratulates CM Punk. Most regrettable ring attire of the year, Michael Cole as Triple H. Critter moment of the year, that mouse that ran past ADR to the locker room. Superstar transformation of the year, woo woo woo, you know it.
I completely forgotten about that mouse.
Oh my god, that mouse. That mouse has gotten more attention than I've ever fucking realized.
That mouse should go slammy.
It did.
Oh,
and so here's the full list of superstars.
Well, I didn't actually read the news, I just kind of posted it in there.
Thank you for not listening to me, you fuckface bitch.
You know, when I was anticipating the Slammy Awards and thinking back on its history over many years, the first fucking thing I was wondering was, I wonder who's going to win Critter Moment of the Year this year.
Well, just think if Owen had been alive, he probably would have ran up there and stole it.
What, the turnbuckle?
Oh.
Damn it, Bastion, it's not funny when you do it.
Bastion, just for that, get the TNA news. All of it.
Oh! TNA's Bound for Glory from Philadelphia drew a staggering 3,585 fans for a gate of 145,000 ice cream bars. It's estimated that TNA's Turning Point pay-per-view did 9,000 pay-per-view buys, about the same as most of their low-end events.
I forgot Turning Point was a thing.
I did too.
I hear Dixie Carter's still all positivity, though.
How can she be, brother?
Oh, quick eight. It turns out that Lita's license was not suspended. That was just a computer glitch. Just the speeding, it seems, is going to be on the stands.
Pretty serious computer glitch.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that she used her ring rat experience to go over with the prison guards?
Yes.
TNA President Dixie Carter wrote following on Twitter about 2012. I'm gonna die. Forecasting 2012 will be an exciting, great year for growth in TNA. Multiple ongoing projects being developed that are very exciting. Stay tuned.
I don't want to know.
Bastion,
Is that
talk
a
about
joke? Stay
Okay.
tuned. Is anyone tuned in the first place to TNA right now?
Some old guy in Florida probably left his TV on. Hulk Hogan has filed a defamation lawsuit against his ex-wife Linda Hogan. This is due to her portrayal in her autobiography, Wrestling with Hulk, My Life Against the Ropes, which has been released last summer. In the book, Hogan is portrayed as a manipulative man who tried to kill Brooks VH1 series if he wasn't a regular cast member. Someone who cheated on Linda and was physically and mentally abusive. She also alleges that he had homosexual with Brutus Jababa Beefcake. Beefcake is filing suit as his lawyer was in TMZ. He's known Linda for 40 years, and she's trying to ruin our careers. It isn't fair. Hulk is a tremendous person, a great man who deserves to be happy. Hogan recently spoke to U.S. Magazine about recent drama with his ex-wife Linda. Here's the highlights.
It's Us Magazine.
Yes. Let me tell you something, brother.
On recent drama with Linda. After a 4-year crazy divorce, I thought I'd heard everything I could hear in the courtroom, he says. Then all of a sudden she says that I abused her, that I was violent. If you're going to say I'm something that I'm not to try to ruin my career, my livelihood, I guess I have to answer her back. On her claims that she did the mango tango with the Brutus Baba Beefcake. If any of that was true, I would admit it. And if I was homosexual, I'll embrace it. It's just so crazy to hear, so I have a problem with it. Apparently, if Hulk was gay, he'd be all over.
Well, let me tell you something, brother Jack, dude. If I was one of the gays, brother, I would be the gayest gay of them all, brother.
Let me tell you something here, brother. The Hulker doesn't get down with the other men because the other men can't handle the Hulkster. The 24-inch python would run all over every gay dude. You know the brothers down there in the short shorts and the tank tops with the mesh on can't handle this, Jack.
Ladies and gentlemen, our very own Win Machine D.
Okay, everybody. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, you fat fuck. Happy birthday to you.
I will have nobody singing happy birthday to me, especially when it's over, you bastards.
Are you too old for the internet yet?
I'm almost the internet.
Fucking ginger.
I'll destroy you. Anyways, I figured I would just chime in here because it's TNA news and really who gives a shit.
Hi, Red.
Well, let's get this over with so we can talk about other stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
But who's going to tune in and listen if we don't talk about Garrett Bischoff?
Well, Eric Bischoff commented on the Hulk versus Linda Hogan lawsuit via Twitter, saying, "Been silent on the Hulk and Linda divorce since the beginning. Glad to hear he is filing a suit against her. She is a pig in every sense. Actually, the only thing more disgusting than Linda Hogan is that pissant, creepy little punk that that's sleeping with that skank." And asked Charlie Hill, Linda's current 22-year-old boyfriend, who replied, "Actually, if I was his age, I would throw up in my mouth the first time I saw her."
I saw that Jackie Moore remains listed on PactWrestling.com's roster page after stating last week that her contract with TNA Wrestling had expired. She tweeted Wednesday that she will be free soon, and I still don't know who the fuck Jackie Moore is.
It's Jackie. The black chick, big tits.
Oh, the one whose titty popped out on Raw that one time?
The suit thing. Yeah, that one. Ugh, Karen Jarrett. Let's talk about this.
That's really long about Karen Jarrett and knowing her, so we just delete that thing. That thing is good.
Let me do the summarized version. Karen Jarrett says, "Oh, I've been a wrestling fan ever. I used to love Miss Elizabeth and Sherry Martel, and even when Kurt and I got married, he didn't like wrestling at all, but I did. So when they started talking to him about getting into wrestling, I'm the one that told him everything and what stuff was and who was who and all that stuff. So then people were trying to start stuff between me and Vicky Guerrero, but I think Vicky is an incredible woman, and she's a great mother. And the fans and the marks out there, they get behind their computer and they're trying to start stuff. But I really respect Vicky, and I think she's great, and I would totally let her twat.
I want Karen Jarrett to not be a person anymore.
You just put in my head Karen Jarrett and Vicky going at it. I don't know what to say right now.
Excuse me! Excuse me!
Yeah, you are now bringing Karen Jarrett and Vicky Guerrero scissoring.
Oh yeah, that's either.
Oh
my god.
Anyhow, so the reason that Bischoff wasn't at that shitty TNA pay-per-view on Sunday was he had, quote, personal business in Arizona. He said, had some personal biz to attend to this weekend in Arizona on my way to Orlando now. Nobody noticed or gave a shit, so I don't know why we're talking about it.
Let's not talk about it. Does that sound like a good plan?
Yeah. Wait, talk about what?
Well,
I have something way more interesting.
Yeah, this is great right here. Flair thing. All right, for $100,000, that's how much you got to drop for this. Ric Flair will accompany any young lady for a night of laughter, socializing, and dancing at the most special occasion of her young life, her high school prom. However, it should be noted that there will be no interact outside of the building in which the prom is held. The prom ticket, limousine transportation, and Mr. Flair's round-trip plane ticket are to be paid for by the parties involved. Mr. Flair will only be providing himself and will bring his own suit. Suitors must also pick Mr. Flair up from the airport and drive him back immediately following the prom. Flair's website notes that older women wanting Mr. Flair's services for a high school or college reunion will be allowed to have Mr. Flair's services also for $100,000, in addition to the plane ticket and limousine transportation. Suitors must also pick Mr. Flair up from the airport and drive him back immediately following the event.
Okay, so here's what I want to do. I want to find out when China's high school reunion is, right? And I want to book her for that weekend. And then I want to book Ric Flair for that same weekend. I want them to go together to her high school reunion.
That's an awesome idea.
China would break Ric Flair.
Why isn't this a thing? Why isn't this a thing?
Yeah, right. Who's got $200,000?
Oh
No,
god.
it's like 120 grand.
To sum up a few things.
Space Mountain versus the Epcot Center.
Oh, that was good. Oh, that was good. But just so you guys know, Harry Smith, D.H. Smith, as we all know, Joey Ryan, Abyss, Alyssa Flash, Davari, Chris Masters, Chavo, Cliff Compton, Mr. 1859, Jimmy Ray, Luke Gallows, Matt Morgan, Nick Dismore, Sean Davari, Sean J. Dutt, and Zima Ion will be a part of the TNA India project thing that's going on, which is being headed by Dave Lagana and Jeff Jarrett.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm still talking about China being a porn star.
Can we just talk about China being a porn star?
I jerked the back door to China 3 times. I don't give a shit.
So is TNA gonna Photoshop pictures of the Great Khali Raven ships in their product?
Yes. And then he's going to come to America and work for 3 weeks. Then they're going to give him the title for a month and a half. And then he's going to quit because he's going to realize that TNA sucks.
This Great Khali's not ready, brother.
That would be the first time that Hulk Hogan was ever right.
Oh, and Guv Sira and Harv Sira, the Bollywood Lions, are also going to be a part of that.
Good.
And former WWE star Michael Tarver was also at the Impact's taping, sitting in the front row.
Look
I
who
hope
bought
he
a
was
ticket.
wearing his bandana.
That's what I was wondering.
He's the other person on the side of the cell phone. And now for independent news. Kevin Von Erich's sons, Ross and Marshall Von Erich, will be making their Pro Wrestling Noah debut in January. They went to the Harley Race School in St. Louis, and they graduated, and now they're going to Noah, which is Harley Race has been traditionally known as sending people over to Japan.
Awesome.
Ring of Honor will not broadcast during its normal 7 p.m. time slot due to Sinclair-owned My Network channel in Tampa during non-cable rights for Saturday night's Dallas Cowboys Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. The website says the channel says the show will air at 6:30 and 11:30 on September 17th. Why is okay? And
Well, I think because they've got this network deal, and how long has it been? It's only been like a couple months, right? They're already getting preempted.
They're on there, right?
Well, this isn't surprising. I mean, if you lived in New York for a while, you know that when SmackDown was on UPN, it would get preempted by Yankee games. So it's not that big of a deal.
I personally am very bummed because my cable company is dropping the network that carries Ring of Honor here entirely, so I'm not going to be able to watch it at all after the new year. So I am having to go through that on my end.
You can watch it like a week after it airs on their website, buddy.
Yeah, but it's not the same, man. I don't know. I might cave at Dish or something, but then again, I don't know if Dish is going to have WWE Network, so I'll have to get some sort of provider that carries that.
They're working with Comcast, by the way.
We don't have Comcast here, and from what I've heard about Comcast, I don't think I'd get them even if we did.
Comcast ain't bad. If you'd expect me 5 years ago, if you'd expect 5 years ago, I would agree with you, but not somehow.
All right, let's get into something here that's quite disheartening. Roger Art Igani will be departed as leaseholder of the former ECW arena on Sunday. He will remain with the building to oversee CCW and Evolve doubleheaders on January 22nd, 2012. But after that, a woman named Joanna Pang will take over the management. CCW's DJ Hyde is planning to meet with Pang to discuss having events there beyond that, but nothing has been confirmed. The aforementioned events are scheduled to be the last ones as of now. The plan is to remodel the building once the events are done. Some have asked about the Hardcore Hall of Fame banners that hang over the arena. According to Argante, they will be removed, but they will remain in his possession. He says the banners and other artifacts will be maintained and not discarded. For those of us who don't understand and don't know what this means, the ECW arena is being currently transformed into an actual musical theater in which that proper musical events will be able to take place. There will no longer be wrestling at the arena.
I believe they had they even canceled the JCW events that were planned to go on there, but I think that had more to do with the condition that they left the arena in last time they were there, as opposed to any of this.
Oh, that's a shame.
The fact that this ECW memorabilia is being called artifacts already makes me a sad panda.
It makes me feel old.
Well, it's not the fact that it's an artifact; it's the fact that it's it's just a name for a thing. Literally a name for a thing. I'm not just saying that to be like thing for a thing. This is terrible because I mean this means that out of the 15 years, 16, 17 years that it's been since they started this, the ECW arena won't be hosting wrestling shows anymore unless something's worked out between this Joanna person and DJ Hyde.
No wrestling.
Yeah, that's pretty depressing, and I don't really see DJ Hyde as someone who's got a lot of power behind his name. So I don't see a lot of hope on the horizon with this one, I'm afraid.
All right, and with that is our news for this week. Stick around, and we'll get right into Impact.
Oh, are we going to do a real Impact review this week?
No.
Please, God, no.
No. Oh,
Let's just do it. Let's just do it.
oh, you want me to do it? All
Just
right.
do it.
Impact. Impact's got a 1.07 cable rating. This is terrible. Impact, if you get a below a 1 ever, like a 1 point, if you get a 0.94, I will never review you again, and you will be permanently deleted from the show.
Wait, hold up. I got a serious question here.
Yeah.
They got a 1.07, so there were people watching?
Yes. There were people watching. Serious questions abound. Basically, this week on TNA Impact, Bobby Roode spit in the face of Dixie Carter. James
Basically,
Storm and
some
Kurt Angle had
stuff happens.
a great little segment. There was a whole lot of Gail Kim and Kieran Jarrett because let's see here, Madison Rain lost to what's her cunt, Mickey James, Gail Kim, yes, Gail Kim, ladies and gentlemen. Gail Kim beat Tracy Brooks, and Tracy Brooks finally, did something to rebel against Karen Jarrett, and Tracy's been like the assistant for forever. And then a tag match, AJ Styles and Jeff Hardy beat Jeff Jarrett and Bobby Roode in the main event. Oh,
Sounds like a show.
And in the worst segment of the year, I hate this guy. Garrett Bischoff beat Gunner.
Really?
So wait, do you hate Garrett Bischoff or do you hate Gunner?
I
Because the
hate
answer
that
should
guy.
be both.
You see what I did there? I hate that guy.
All right, yeah, I get what you're doing there.
Oh, and Abyss Samoa Joe, and then Scott Steiner and Bully Ray interfered, and then Abyss hit the black hole slam on Steiner while Bully Ray ran away. And then there was a great segment with Scott Steiner and Bully Ray. Scott Steiner is talking to Bully Ray, and they're like, "Hey, go talk to Eric Bischoff to see what we can do." And Steiner's like, "All right, I'll go talk to Bischoff." And then Bully Ray, "Well, then go talk to Bischoff." "I'm going to talk to Bischoff." "All right, well, then you go talk to Bischoff because he didn't do anything for me." "Well, I'm going to talk to Bischoff." Etc., etc., etc. It was hilarious.
Scott Steiner.
Hilarity.
And that was your Impact rating. Next up, SmackDown.
SmackDown drew a 2.24 cable rating.
Hold on there.
3 million
Hold on,
viewers.
smart.
Hold on, buddy. We gotta stop the recording and then start for the... We just do Impact in with the news because we don't care about Impact.
Yeah.